Hey guys, what is up? It is Jay, and today I'm going to be talking about comfy children's books to read during the fall, because there is no comfier time of the year to make yourself a cup of tea, wrap yourself up in a blanket, and read a nice book. Well, I mean, there is Christmas time and the winter, but fall has like that perfect crisp air that isn't too cold. There's also orange and red leaves, so it has that going for it. Anyway, whether you are a parent looking for a good book to read to your children, or if you are an adult who likes to read comfy children's books during the fall like myself, then you might find some interesting books in this video. A lot of these are like classics, and I'm probably not even going to need to describe what they're about because I'm sure you have heard of them. Starting off with The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. If you have not read this series, you are missing out because C.S. Lewis is like a master of imagination, and this has always been one of my favorite series. For some reason, I found myself wanting to read it during the fall. I don't really know why. And if you go on a lot of road trips or you have to commute a lot, I would recommend The Chronicles of Narnia audiobook. This is like the dramatized audiobook version, so there's like different actors for each character, and I love it so much. The one downside that I would say is that I really dislike the voice of Aslan. That's kind of a personal opinion, but since I've read the books and I've listened to the audiobooks, there's some parts where Aslan in the audio comes off as like angry or very stern, while in the book I was not getting that feeling, so that kind of annoyed me. Also, the person who does the voice of Aslan tries to do like this purr thing, which just doesn't sound right on a human. But I mean, if you could get past that, then I recommend picking this up because it is very handy to listen to on road trips. It also comes with like a fold-out map of the Narnia world. Fun fact, I used to actually have that map in between my bookshelves on my old videos. Next is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I definitely recommend reading this book sometime, either in the fall or in the spring. The book takes place in the spring, so it might be more suiting for the spring, but I tend to go back to it during the fall, and it is such a comfy book. It's one of my favorite classics of all time, and I really enjoy books that have like an all-animal cast. I mean, this book has Badger and Mr. Toad, and they go on adventures and fight off the evil weasels. It is a really comfy book to read, and it's a classic, so I would recommend checking it out. This edition that I have is not the best. You could get a lot of better editions that have like artwork in them and everything. Next is Pax by Sari Pennypacker, and I actually haven't been able to finish this one yet, but I'm hoping to finish it during this fall. But it is a really comfy read. It's about a fox and a boy, and the boy's father makes him release the fox into the wild, and the boy goes on a journey to go find the fox again because he doesn't want to abandon the fox. And the fox, meanwhile, goes on a bunch of adventures while the boy is looking for him. But this book is such a comfy read. It's not that long, and it can be enjoyed by adults and children. Next is The Spiderwick Chronicles by Tony DiTerlizzi and Holly Black. This is a collection of the first series, and there's a lot of reading material here. I'm sure you have heard of Spiderwick, but in short, it is about some siblings that discover a world of dwarves and trolls and goblins. It is a very fun and adventurous series to read during the fall. Next, I would recommend A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, because of course, what else brings you more comfort than the misfortune of children? You can also binge the Netflix series while reading through these books. Next up is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite classic books, and just favorite books in general. And this edition that I have is one of the most good-looking books I have on my shelf, but there is a lot of other good-looking editions of Peter Pan as well. This one has a lot of fun, like, interactive things in it, which really adds to the story. After showing my Peter Pan book, this one looks very ugly, but Alice in Wonderland, the content is still good in here even though this edition is a little bit beaten up. I've had it forever, but Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll is a really fun book to read during the fall as well, and this edition also has Through the Looking Glass. I would definitely recommend reading both of those. Next, there is The Hobbit by my man Tolkien. You might have heard of him. This is arguably the most well-written children's book of all time, I would say. I've reread The Hobbit so many times now, and it brings a lot of comfort. It's definitely a good one to read during the fall or during the winter. I've saved Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales for last because, although I like to read it in the fall, it is not exactly suitable for children, especially the original Grimm's Fairy Tales. But people used to read these to children back in the day. I mean, I guess it still has some very valuable lessons. For instance, there is a story called The Three Snake Leaves, and there is a young soldier who falls in love with a princess, only to discover she has this weird agreement where if she dies, he has to be buried alive with her. So the lesson there is to not make stupid agreements. Anyway, those are all the books that I want to talk about. If you have a comfort read that you like to read during the fall, let me know down below. If you like this video, why not give it a like, and I'll also leave a link to my Twitter and my Instagram down below if you want to follow me there. I hope you find a nice comfy book to read this fall, and I will see you guys next time.